pyrite burner process. Pyrite burner process. What is pyrite burner, beta? What is pyrite? Basically, the sulfide ore of any metal is known as pyrite. So let's say iron sulfide we take. So what is we have to do? The first thing, we can make either SO plus O2 is equal to SO2. This is a very simple kind of reaction we can. And second one, FeS2 plus O2. So we can make Fe2O3 plus SO2 beta. If you want to balance this equation, that's 11 by 2 O2. So it will 2SO2 and now 3, and this is yours 4. So total 9 oxygen we have. Okay, so finally we can balance it like this. Okay. So totally that means 3 and 4 and 3, 7. Okay. So basically we can balance it on whatever the things I think you can balance it. So this is your pyrite burner process. You know, pyrite burner means the sulfide ore is basically react with oxygen to convert into oxide. Okay, this is oxide basically. Oxide. I think it is still not balanced. I think it is. Can you balance it better?
Okay, sir.
Actually, it is 4SO2. And now I think it is balanced. Yes, beta.
1 second, so I'm just doing it.
I think it is balanced as I know.
So, yeah, I'm not sure, sir.
FeS2 plus 11O2. It is 2Fe2O3 plus 8SO2. Isn't it? Now you can check it.
Okay, yes.
The second process is because we have now SO2. This SO2 is oxidized. That is oxidation of SO2. So this oxidation of SO2 will take place in a very special chamber named as oxidation chamber process. And this SO2 will convert into SO3. With the help of oxidation, it will convert into SO3. Actually, in this process, about 400 to 500 degrees Celsius temperature is required and low pressure is required. Low pressure is required. And this reaction is beta actually exothermic reaction. Okay. Exothermic reaction. The next is catalyst which is required for this process is V2O5 and promoter is molybdenum. Two more things are required, that is catalyst and promoter. Okay. So catalyst and promoter, you know what catalyst does or do? Catalyst does just activate the rate of the reaction. isn't it? So two process we did. The question is, how can we optimize the percentage of SO3 or optimize the percentage of sulfuric acid? So just you have to take less temperature range, that is 400 to 500 degrees Celsius, and low pressure. So if you just want to relate the optimization technique for this equation actually, so for this equation actually we require low temperature at high pressure. If we generally find this type of situation, generally the optimization of H2SO4 will be more, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me tell what is the way to find this, because I'm not just want to mugging up. Just relate like we are having SO2 plus SO2 and is equal to SO3. Let's suppose this reaction is exothermic. Okay, definitely if the reaction is exothermic, that means beta the temperature is obviously more in the right side, obviously more, because heat is releasing. And if we just increase the temperature, so the reaction will oppose it, because temperature is already more in the right side. So the reaction will shift to left side, because temperature is already very high in the right side. So temperature opposes it and it will shift into left side. That means less amount of SO3 will be formed. So generally, if reaction is exothermic, temperature should be low for optimal condition. Okay, and if temperature should be low, we can relate the pressure should be high. Okay, beta.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, so for Haber process, beta, can you tell me which is the correct way for optimization of NH3?
So it will be
For Haber process,
so it's to lower the pressure and temperature.
Temperature should be low and pressure should be high, beta. Okay.
Okay.
Please revise, beta, because you are somewhere is
So the temperature will be lower and the pressure will
be
high,
high.
right?
Okay.
Okay.
The next thing, beta, the third part, that is, because we are having SO3 now and we want to convert H2SO4. So what we have to do, the third process is conversion of H2SO4, conversion of SO3 to H2SO4. So what actually we does, SO3 will be reacted with H2SO4. It is pre available H2SO4 we have. It will convert into H2O7. H2O7 is a very special kind of H2SO4 and it is concentrated H2SO4. Very concentrated H2SO4, and it is known as oleum. Now, at the last step, or we can say the final conclusive step, dilution of oleum takes place. Dilution of oleum takes place. So if we just dilute oleum, okay, now we will get twice of H2SO4. Okay. So this is your H2SO4 we will get, and it is nearly 68% beta concentrated right now. Okay, beta.
Yes, sir.
So that means the H2SO4 which we will get after the all the processes, all the Ostwald processes is nearly 68%, isn't it?
Okay, sir.
Got it or not?
Yes, sir.
The next thing is, beta, if we talk about H2SO4, if we talk about H2SO4, it is a colorless, odorless, dense oily liquid. And the next thing, beta, that is very common because it is an acid. So when it is diluted, it gives hydronium ion. That means H2SO4 plus water, it is hydronium ion plus HSO4 minus. Okay, beta? Okay.
Yes.
So is any doubt?
Yes, sir. No, sir, no doubts.
So we saw the preparation of H2SO4, beta. The first one is your basic preparation. The second one is your Ostwald process, that is industrial process. 3 steps actually. The first step is making of SO2. The second step is oxidation of SO2. The third step is conversion of SO3 to H2SO4. That means into oleum, and oleum is finally diluted into H2SO4. Okay, and the optimal condition is low temperature and high pressure for making of H2SO4. Okay. So next thing is, beta, chemical reaction. If we talk about the chemical reaction of H2SO4, because beta H2SO4 is a acid, and you know, when reactive metal when react with H2SO4, basically if we talk about dilute H2SO4, it will give salt plus hydrogen gas. Which for which metal we are asking about actually? That is kuch na kaho, mango, Allah, Jesus, phone, pay, hydrogen, copper, mercury, Ag, Pt, and Au. So I am basically telling about the metal which are above from hydrogen. These metal, like if we react zinc plus dilute H2SO4, it will make zinc SO4 plus H2. But if we react with copper plus H2SO4, it does not give any kind of reaction, isn't it, beta?
Yes.
The next one is, you know, because H2SO4 is an acid, so definitely, beta, when it is an acid, so it can react with base as well as metallic oxide. Because, beta, you know, metallic oxide is basic by nature. Whatever the metallic oxide we can take, like Na2O we can take, K2O we can take, CuO we can take, whatever the you have metallic oxide you can take. So just if we do KOH plus H2SO4, it will form K2SO4 plus twice of H2. In the same way, beta, if CuO and H2SO4 is reacted, it will form CuSO4 plus 1. Okay, this is your basically the acid base reaction. So if you want to Just learn it. That is acid base reaction. Okay. So you want to note it, beta, or should I rough it?
So I'll just note it down one second.
Tomorrow, beta, I think we will do the exercise of H2SO4. I think HNO3 is not in syllabus right now in this in the test.
No, sir, it's not.
Okay, good. Okay. We have also done, I think, chemical periodic classification, isn't it?
Yes, sir, we have. Okay, so you can use that.
Now, beta, you know, if you can react metal carbonate with H2SO4, you can react metal bicarbonate. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, no problem. Actually, it is raining so much in this. I think.
Oh,
Yeah. So, in your side, is it raining?
no, sir, it doesn't rain much over here. They usually only do cloud seeding and then it rains.
Okay, okay. Because monsoon came in India, so.
Oh, no, sir, it's summer over here, so there's
Okay.
no rain.
So if we react metal carbonate with H2SO4, metal bicarbonate with H2SO4, two types of reaction actually we can possess. Okay. So firstly, metal carbonate react with H2SO4 and metal bicarbonate react with H2SO4. So it forms salt plus water plus CO2. And in here also salt plus water plus CO2. So if we like Na2SO3, NO2CO3 plus H2SO4, it will Na2SO4 plus H2O plus CO2. In the same way, if you like KHSO3 plus H2SO4, it is K2SO4 plus H2O plus CO2. In the same way, beta, if H2SO4 react with metal sulfide, okay, metal sulfide and or we can say metal bisulfide. Okay. So if it react with, one second, if it react with metal sulfide or bisulfide plus dilute dil H2SO4, so it will give, because metal sulfide, so you know, it will give salt plus water plus SO2. Okay. So, you know, Na2SO3 plus H2SO4, it will give Na2SO4 plus SO2 plus water. In the same way, if it give like CaHSO3 whole twice bisulfite actually. So again, it will give CaSO4, that is salt, plus water plus SO. So basically, we will get SO2 if we react with metal sulfide or bisulfide, and we will get CO2 if we react with carbonate or metal bicarbonate. Isn't it, beta?
Yes.
In the same way, beta, the important reaction which I am writing here, if metal sulfide reacts, metal sulfide like S2 minus. So FeS plus H2SO4, it will make FeSO4 plus H2S. And you know, H2S is a gas named as hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide, which is having rotten egg smell. Okay. Which is having rotten egg smell. So you went beta in any time in your chemistry lab?
So only once. We haven't done any practicals yet.
So I think you saw this type instrument in your lab.
Yes, sir.
Can you remind beta? So this type experiment is known as Kipps apparatus, and this is basically used for the preparation of H2S. Okay. Actually, in higher classes like 11th and 12th, you will do the experiment of beta. So Kipps apparatus is a just plastic apparatus made from plastic, normal plastic, white color apparatus. So which is basically pipe over connected over pipe. So it is basically used for the making of H2SO4. And the H2SO4 is a rotten egg smell. That means when H2S is formed, normally we will make H2SO4 in lab. So whenever H2S is formed in your lab, definitely all the students went away from the lab because the smell is so bad. Okay, like we know that is rancid material. That means material is मतलब ऐसा लगता है कि खराब हो गया सब कुछ. Okay, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you just you are copying.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
If we take beta the another example, like if we take H2SO4 and copper sulfide is reacting again. You know, copper sulfide is having black by nature. So whenever black metal sulfide react, it will form CuSO4 plus H2S. And if you want to know the color of CuSO4, it is blue by nature. It is blue by nature. So we can predict the color of CuSO4. It is blue by nature. Then beta, again, concentrated H2SO4 is a non-volatile acid. You know this. And this reaction or this assumption or this statement is basically used in the preparation of another acids like HCl, like HNO3. So what it does actually, because since H2SO4 is a non-volatile acid, it displaces volatile acids from their salt. Okay, it displaces volatile acids from their salt. Like if we take beta NaCl and if we take H2SO4 and temperature is less than 200 degrees Celsius, then it will form NaHSO4 plus HCl, gas will be formed. You know this reaction from the very beginning. And NaNO3 plus H2SO4, this is actually the preparation of nitric acid we have to do. Again, the temperature is, so it is NaHSO4 again and HNO3. Okay. So these are basically volatile salt or volatile compound. When non-volatile compound react with them beta, okay, it displaces volatile acid, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So sometimes beta, sometimes there may be question, write the property of H2SO4 in which it will behave or it behaves like a volatile liquid or non-volatile liquid. So you have to write these two equations. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Next, you want to note it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just make a star and write concentrated H2SO4 is a non-volatile liquid or acid. You can also write liquid. Who is singing beta?
Sir, it's the police alarm in the background.
Okay. I think beta, it is holiday in Friday, na?
Yes, sir. It's we have the weekends on Fridays and Saturdays because it's a Muslim country, so like they have their prayers on
Nawaz.
Friday mostly. Okay, sir.
Okay. So beta, the next important thing is concentrated H2SO4 is a powerful oxidizing agent. It is a powerful oxidizing agent, like it convert beta carbon to H2SO3 or CO2. It convert sulfur to itself H2SO4. It convert nitrogen to HNO3. It convert phosphorus to H3PO4. That means it will oxidize phosphorus to H3O4 and copper to CuSO4. Okay. If you just write all these equations better, you can write here carbon plus H2SO4. It will make CO2. and reduces to itself to SO2 plus water. Then sulfur plus H2SO4, it will behave H2SO4 plus water. In the same way, phosphorus plus H2SO4, it will behave H3PO4 plus SO2 plus water. And carbon plus H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4, we have to take in all the cases CuSO4 plus SO2 plus water. The very important thing, beta, as we see in previous one, whenever we react, dilute H2SO4, there is no reaction. But beta, when we react concentrated H2SO4, there will be reaction and SO2 gas will be evolved, isn't it? Okay. In the same way, if we take iodine plus H2SO4, ultimately we will get the acid of iodine, that is iodic acid plus SO2 plus water. Okay. Okay. Then beta, the next property of concentrated H2SO4 is a dehydrating agent. As we know, in ammonia or HCl, it is a powerful dehydrating agent. So dehydrating agent means it absorbs water molecule. It absorbs the water molecule. Like if we are having glucose, okay. So we can say what is a dehydrating agent? That means it has high affinity with water molecule. Okay. So if it takes and if we just react concentrated H2SO4 here, so it will just make and 11H2 or sorry 6C plus 6H2. It just absorbs water from here. In the same way, if we take cane sugar, that is C12H22O11 plus concentrated H2SO4, if we passes over here, we will get carbon plus water. Okay. So basically, sugar is converted into black charcoal or black spongy mass. Black spongy mass. That means beta, when sugar particle react with H2SO4, we will get black spongy mass of carbon. Okay. Next thing is beta, when this H2SO4 is passes through blue vitriol. Blue vitriol is USO4.5H2O, and concentrated H2SO4 is passes over here. It is known as blue vitriol. So it will give copper sulfate plus 5H2O. It is blue, but it is colorless because it releases its crystal water molecule. And the color of any of the compound is due to crystal water molecule, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So please note it, beta, the oxidizing property and dehydrating property.
Okay.
Beta, what doing?
1 second, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So you first property is non-volatile compound. Next oxidizing, and the last one is it is a powerful dehydrating agent. Beta, if you just do the test of H2SO4, we can do the test of H2SO4 by two ways. First, for diluted H2SO4, and the next one is concentrated H2SO4. That is, you are having a dilute H2SO4, it is just transparent liquid, and concentrated H2SO4 is blue, something your yellow color liquid. So let dilute H2SO4 is present over this test tube, and we want to get either is it present or not. So just when barium chloride react with dilute H2SO4, it will give BaSO4 as a PPT, and BaSO4 is a white color PPT. It is having a white color PPT. In the same way, when lead nitrate react with H2SO4, it will behave PbSO4 plus twice of HNO3. PbSO4 is again white color PPT. So whenever we will see this white color PPT, we will assure that our H2SO4 is present. In the same way, beta, when we talk about concentrated H2SO4, so whenever copper is reacted with concentrated H2SO4, like we are having a test tube in which concentrated H2SO4 is present, and we are dipping copper chips over here. Okay, so we will get copper sulfate having blue by nature, as well as burning sulfur smell. When we will get the burning sulfur smell, we finally say that this is your SO2 and this is SO4 which is present. Okay. The next thing is, beta, what is how we can test SO2 actually? It generally change, SO2 generally change potassium dichromate paper to green color. Actually, if you talk about the SO2 in a separate way, this is a gas which is basically reducing by nature. So whenever it react with K2Cr2O7, it turns into Cr2O3, which is green by nature. It is orange by nature. Potassium dichromate is orange by nature. So whenever copper react with concentrated H2SO4, a gas is evolved, and this gas turns, beta, potassium dichromate paper into green by nature. Okay, this way we can say that this is your H2SO4. In the same way, the another reaction we can, like NaCl plus H2SO4, the temperature is less than 200 degrees Celsius, it will form NaHSO4 plus HCl. Okay, again this is a reaction in which we can say that NaHSO4 will be formed, okay, and HCl will be formed, and this is only happened when concentrated H2SO4 we will take this. Okay, okay, beta.
Yes.
So if we just finally recap all the things, just 1 second, in 5 minutes we will recap all the things. We start with structure of H2SO4, and I think you made the proper structure in a very better way. H2SO4 is a powerful acid named as oil of vitriol. Okay, no problem. Then the preparation method of H2SO4 by different method: oxidation of sulfur, chlorine react with SO2, and sulfur trioxide react with H2SO4. Okay. Then beta, if we talk about the industrial process, there is a very famous process named as Ostwald process. In Ostwald process, the three processes, sub processes actually we have. The first is pyrite burner process. The next is oxidation of SO2 process, and the third one is conversion of SO2 to H2SO4 process. So SO2 will be formed, then it will oxidize in oxidation chamber. Our catalyst is V2O5, promoter is molybdenum, and this reaction is exothermic by nature. Okay, this reaction is exothermic by nature. Okay, so less low temperature is required for this process. Okay, then conversion of SO3 to H2SO4, then made of oleum. Oleum is a concentrated H2SO4. When it is diluted again, we will get H2SO4. Okay, H2SO4 is a colorless, odorless, dense, oily liquid. Okay, so it is an acid, so it releases hydronium ion whenever it come to water. Okay, then beta, there is some chemical reaction that when dilute acid we can take, when active metal react we will get hydrogen gas. Okay, that is a very common process. Then neutralization reaction we know. Then metal carbonate react H2SO4, it will give CO2, and when metal sulfide react it will give SO2. But metal, when sulfide react, it will give H2SO, H2S gas, which is having rotten egg smell. Okay, then if we talk about the properties, it is a non-volatile liquid, okay, which is used the preparation of HCl and HNO3. Then it is a powerful oxidizing agent, so to oxidize very kind of material to their corresponding salt or acid. And it is a powerful dehydrating agent which basically absorb moisture from glucose as well as cane sugar. Okay, and the last one is chemical test of H2SO4, diluted and concentrated. Okay, and we will get a different phenomenon process. Okay, beta.
Okay, yes, sir.
So any doubt beta in any of the reaction concept or problems? Yes beta.
No, sir, no. No, sir.
So beta, just revise all the chapters. We completed the syllabus today, but only the question are remaining. I think we will discuss tomorrow. So what will be the class timing of tomorrow?
So can we have it in the morning, because I have a passport renewal in the afternoon.
Okay, in which time beta? In according to Dubai time?
So is 10 a.m. okay with you?
10 a.m. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. It is okay, but I have to check once.
Okay, so you can reconfirm. It's fine later.
Okay, and the next thing beta, if you have any problem in chemistry, you can send your doubts in WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you beta. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Okay.